No. And Rita Rosenberg is our District 12 secretary and has a great presentation to share with us for any incoming treasurers or current treasurers, or just want to know more about being a treasurer or club finances. So Rita, the floor is yours.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen.
Should be a green screen, share screen button.
Green, okay.
On that, and then you click on the window on your computer that has your PowerPoint.
Okay. Bear with me. I'm clicking through tabs here. I might have had too many tabs open, it turns out.
I've done that before too, no problem.
Okay. And view, I'm going to go full screen. Window. Nope.
Let's see. It's
up at the very top in the orange section. You'll see a screen up there. There you go.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Okay. So, hello, and thanks for joining us tonight. This is the same presentation that we did at conference last year. Those of you who missed it or incoming, this will be the same one. Sometimes I think it's good to listen to it more than once, because I think that it's a good refresher and reminds us about things, or sometimes you pick up things that new things that you didn't catch the first time around. So thanks for joining us. Our goal today is to kind of share the treasurer's calendar with you, so you have a better idea as what the year looks like in the life of the treasurer and what your general responsibilities are, and introduce you to group tally and how to run through that system, and what other financial responsibilities you have, to remind you about cyber fraud, which is a hot topic and continues to be a hot topic, and also give you some additional resources for your year as treasurer.
Rita, are you okay if people have questions for them just to jump in throughout your presentation and ask, or do you want them saved to the end?
Yes, please jump in at any time and interrupt me at any time. I think it's easiest to do it while we're thinking about it. So yes, please.
May I ask a question too, Rita? Could we do a quick introduction? I'm seeing little faces I've never seen before.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So okay, now that I'm sharing my screen, I am
how about if you can't see everyone as well as I can? So Dina, why don't you start off, since you brought up intros?
I am Dina Blacklaw. I am the president of the Albany Altrusa Club in Albany, Oregon.
Hey, Tammy. You can all unmute, because we're going to call on all of you.
Hi, I'm Tammy Canoyer. I'm with the Hermiston Club. I'm the incoming co-president.
Thank you. Nancy?
Hi, I'm Nancy Gill, Longview Kelso, and I'm actually communications person, just here to learn.
Trudy?
Hi, I'm Trudy Margaret. I'm treasurer with Altrusa Club of Nanaimo. I've done 2 years, and I'm doing 2 more years. Right. And I think it's really important to keep getting retrained. You always learn something new.
Hi, I'm Lisa Gregory with Longview Kelso. I'm the incoming treasurer.
Treese?
I'm Treese Grad with Longview Kelso, incoming president.
Kim?
I am Kim Kern, and I am the incoming treasurer for Hermiston Altrusa.
Okay. And Julie?
I'm Julie Livingston. Julie Livingston, governor-elect and a member of Corvallis Club.
Okay, Eric?
Hi, I'm Eric Salinas. I'm not sure if you can see me, but because I
Yes, we
was
can see you.
okay, cool. Because I was switching devices. Sorry. I am incoming president from Altrusa Houston Club. We just got started a few months ago, and I just came back from conference yesterday, so here to learn. Thank you for the invite.
Welcome. Sharon?
I'm Sharon Tremonti. I'm the District 9 Communications Chair, and I also serve as a mentor to the Houston Club. So I figured I need to be able to know what the treasurer does to help mentor them.
Thank you for joining us. Ramona?
I'm Ramona Lieber. I am Foundation Treasurer for Longview Kelso, and I apologize for my screen not being on. I'm a little under the weather this evening.
Totally get it. No problem. And Cecily?
Hello, I am a member of Altrusa of Corvallis, and I'm going to be shadowing the Foundation Treasurer this year and hopefully learn enough so I can be Foundation Treasurer starting in, 2026.
For you. Well, welcome. Thanks all of you for joining us. I'm Debbie McBee, Governor of District 12, and I have not been a treasurer, and I learn as I go too. So Rita, run with it.
Okay, sounds good. For everybody that doesn't know, I'm Rita in the Pendleton branch was where I started, and I actually am the foundation treasurer, and this was my first time serving at the district levels, and it's very different being the foundation treasurer versus the district or club treasurer. So it was learning experience for me as well. So.
And I will give a shout out to Rita, who has done a phenomenal job because she took over early when Andy Francisco, district treasurer, had some health issues. So she was kind of thrown into the fire and just did an awesome job and still is. So thank you, Rita.
Thank you. Yeah, and I had big shoes to fill. Anne is wonderful. So big shoes there. Okay, so I clicked back into my presentation. Can everybody see right now the presentation again?
It's the same as it was before on my screen.
Yeah. Okay.
It is not full screen though.
No.
It's not full screen. Okay, let me show. Let me go back in. Let me start over and make sure you pop out. Minimize. Okay, of course it switched for me. Share screen. There we go. Okay. Window. Oh, come on. Now it's not showing me my presentation. Come on. Window. Where are you at?
It's all good,
Okay.
Rita. No worries.
Okay. I'll get it here. Let's see. There we go. There's what I want. Share. Whew. Okay. Normal. Okay, now can you guys see the screen? We're on the treasure workshop.
If you click on from beginning on that left side, it should take it to full screen then, I think.
Oh, you guys aren't seeing full screen?
No.
Okay, let me.
We see the slides going down to the right, but we can see it. Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, we
Maybe
can do
X out of where it says always use subtitles, Rita, and get rid of that right side. And we'll just go with it.
There.
That's better.
Better.
Okay. From beginning. Did that change it?
I think this is workable.
So
yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
If not, just a little icon there on the bottom right side, just left side of the minus in from the Zoom pointer.
Oh, the one that looks like a TV screen?
Yes, try that
Okay.
one.
So
Okay.
bottom right side, Rita, to the left of where it says 97%. Yeah,
Yes.
click on that.
Okay, I just clicked that and it made it full screen on my view, but it's not making it full screen on yours.
Maybe you have different devices. Maybe you have an auxiliary screen, and that might be the issue, and you may be
Okay.
presenting towards the your main screen might be the other one. So you just need to switch the presentation to the other screen, to the auxiliary screen, if that is the case.
Or just go with it, Rita.
Yeah.
We can go with this.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. Darn it.
Yep.
I wish it was right for you.
We can see your slides, not a problem.
Okay. Well, we'll roll with it then. Okay, so first off is our treasurer's calendar. Is that what everybody's seeing there?
We've got your agenda page up.
Okay, so it's not, that's not right then, because that's not what it's on mine.
There you
There.
go.
Now it says treasurer's
Now we
calendar.
have it.
Maybe back to all of us.
And now we lost it.
Okay, let me go try this again. Share screen. Window.
Thanks for your patience, everyone. We're going to get this.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, treasurer's calendar.
Oh, back to your agenda.
Okay, is that readable? Everybody can see?
Right there.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to breathe, and I'm going to hope that it stays there.
You got it.
Keep your left foot in the air.
Right? Okay. Treasurer's calendar. So this starts us off in April and May, which is perfect because that's where we're at right now. So right now, what you should be doing as a club treasurer is working with your outgoing treasurer to coordinate dues and collections of payments. If you are continuing as the treasurer into the 2024-2025 year, then you won't have anybody to coordinate with. You will just need to do that yourself and jump in there. So very important to be sending out invoices to your members. And it's always a good idea when you send out your invoices to do a reminder to them to ask members to log into Group Tally and Club Runner and check to make sure that their email addresses, their contact information, their addresses, and any leadership roles that they have are current. So a lot of times I know like in the Pendleton Club, we have the president do reminders at meetings to remind everybody of that. And then we usually put a reminder on our invoices so that we can keep those up to date. And June 1st is the day that all dues must be paid. That's when they're actually due. So that's why you want to get the invoices out now. And on June 15th, that is the last day that dues can be paid to not incur a late fee. So if you have any members that, or if you log in and don't pay the dues until June 16th, then those members are going to have a $5 late fee per member. So it's very important to get those postmarked, or even better, pay them online through ACH with a debit card or credit card so that you don't incur any of those late fees. And we usually encourage to send in lump sums for your club. It's better than sending in one member at a time each day. But on the other hand, we don't want you to wait and pay everybody's on the 15th and then something happened and you miss the deadline and you incur a bunch of late fees. So it is okay if you have most of the majority to send it in, and then send in your few stragglers as they come in. And another important date to watch is July 10th. And if you have any members that pay after July 10th, then they're also going to incur a $10 reinstatement fee. So on July 10th, they're actually deleted from the database and they're considered being reinstated. And so there's that $10 extra fee that goes in there. Does anybody have any questions on those dates or anything?
I do, please. Dina from
Okay.
Albany. If they don't make the July 10th and it says dues after this date are subject to, how long after July 10 can we allow them to go to reinstate themselves if they choose to? That makes sense?
So you mean like maybe they come back in December and
or even August, September? I mean, are we still allowed to allow them to come back in, pay their dues, pay the late fee and that $10 reinstatement, or is there a cutoff as far as time frame to be reinstated?
there's not a cutoff as far as I know. So yep, they'll be
Yes.
able to just pay that $10 and whatever the dues are at that time.
Dina, just to clarify, after July 10th, they are dropped as a member, their records are deleted, and you don't get those records back. So if they just don't pay, they're dropped as an Altrusan, and then, you know, a month later they decide to pay, they have a new account created for them. If you have a situation where something's going on and someone can't pay right then and they do intend to, you need to have that person email David at International saying, I am taking a leave of absence and please hold my file. I do plan to reinstate my membership. Then they will set the site, the membership file aside that has all their history of whatever, and that will get saved and reinstated. But if they simply fail to pay, they're dropped as a member.
Okay, thank you.
I also have a quick question. Are we going to be able to get a copy of this slideshow?
Yes, yes, we will share the PowerPoint and the recording.
Perfect,
If I can work out how to delete the first 2 minutes of it, then I'll do that.
And there's also on the international website, there's also the presentation on the international website as well. So,
and I think
we'll send
last
it out
year's one is on our district site too.
I believe so. Yep. I think there may even be a recorded one from me from last year too that might be cleaner than the startup we had on this one. So, okay, so October is another foundation grants program month, and so you send in any of your club donations to the International Foundation during October. And October is also important because that is when tax returns are due. So if your club has gross receipts under 50,000, then you get to file the 990N form with the IRS, which is an awesome form because it's basically a one-pager that you verify who you are and what your EIN is and certify that you're under 50,000, and that's it. So it's nice if you're under 50,000. If you have gross receipts that are over 50,000, then you're going to need to do the 990 EZ, I believe that it is. And you get to use that form up until I believe it's 300,000, and then you're going to have to do an even bigger form. So, or the more detailed form, I guess it is. But very, very important, those deadlines are October 15th. And so you can get penalties, and it also puts your club in risk of not having timely reporting. So you want to be sure that by October 15th, you log on and get those filed. And the IRS no longer accepts paper submissions. And so you will need to go to irs.gov and submit those. And it has the same deadlines for your state returns and if you're in Oregon. So make sure that you send those in by October 15th.
Rita, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I'm completely new to this, and we have a foundation treasurer and we have a separate club treasurer, which is me. Who does this, the foundation or the club?
Both. So, yep. You'll file, actually, there should be two separate entities. Your club should have its own EIN, and then your foundation will have its own EIN, and the foundation will be part of the 501c3. And so the foundation can't spend anything for regular expenses. Everything in the foundation has to be nonprofit status and used for nonprofit purposes. So like in Pendleton, our club files the 990 in because it's underneath 50,000. And then our foundation treasurer, myself, files the regular 990 because we're over 50,000.
Okay, thanks.
So, yep, good question. December 1st is when we start half price dues. And so any members that join from December 1st until March 31st get to join at half price. So that is awesome for them to be able to join during that time and get half off on dues. And March 31st is the deadline for that. And then April 1st, any members that join from April 1st to May 31st, which would be right now, they can receive the remainder of this year for free. And then their dues go to pay the full following year. So somebody who joined April 1st would actually get 2 months and then plus all of next year. So they're looking at 14 months for the price of 12. So it's an awesome time for members to be joining right now. And in April is when, if you have any contributions to send to the foundation, International Foundation, District Foundation, you want to try to send those in April. And April's also the time to start working with your incoming treasurer if you have if you're going to be switching, if you're not going to be doing the next year. So really important to take good notes and prepare that incoming treasurer in April and May so that it's not a surprise or a shock for them when they officially take over on June 1st. Membership records. So it is the club treasurer's task to take control of the membership records and maintain accurate records. And this was something that I didn't know when I was the foundation treasurer. So this came to a surprise for me and was something new as I became a district treasurer. So the club treasurers are responsible for submitting the payments from the members to international and district, and also making sure that district and international has their correct email addresses, telephone numbers, and pays the dues and group tallies and updates the district treasurer with any new members and accurate club memberships. So throughout the year, as membership changes happen, if you have a membership that somebody who doesn't renew or somebody who is deceased throughout the year, then you'll want to be sure to update that in group tally and also let the district treasurer know. Did somebody have a question there? I'm sorry. Oh, good. Okay. And also it's the club treasurer's responsibility to review the club records on group tally and make sure that the annual dues are correct and to make any updates. So that all needs to be, you're sending out your invoices now, and then it's a short time frame from that June 1st to June 15th. You have that time period to pay those dues and make sure that everything's accurate.
Rita, just to clarify, a club treasurer gives everyone until June 1st to receive those dues. Then you send them in bulk for your whole club, but you have to do that by June 15th so you don't get charged late fees.
Yes. Yep. Because that $5 late fee per member is going to go into effect if you pay them June 16th or after. Yep. Membership records, there's several ways to do these. And it'll just kind of be for you and your club what works best for you. So this is an example of a membership spreadsheet that a club uses in Excel. And this shows who the active members are and their addresses and the amount that was paid to district and the date it was paid. Now, if you're paying in group tally and paying with a debit card or a credit card, it actually sends to the district treasurer a printout of the membership. So if you're mailing in the dues, then you might want to you can use this Excel spreadsheet, which this is on the international website as well, or you can design one yourself, or everything's in group tally. So you can go to group tally and club runner, pull up your club and print out the listing and double check it there as well. So this is just an example of one way to do it.
Rita?
Yeah.
It's Trudy. Canadian clubs, we're not able to pay Canadian money. We have to send you a check, like in Canadian funds. So is that still okay for district?
Yep, that's absolutely okay to mail in the check. It's just important to let us know who the check is paying for, what members are included in that. So,
right.
Yep. So as long as you mail in the check and do a listing for us to show who that's paying for, that works great.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Member management. So group tally, when you sign on there for the first time, your email address already needs to be in the system. So your club president or somebody who already has group tally access, they're going to need to log on to group tally and give you full administrative rights instead of just member rights. And once you have the full administrative rights, then you're going to be able to go in there and actually pay dues and make any changes to membership contact information. So that's important when you know who your new treasurer is going to be, to get them started with those full administrative rights so that they can see what that side of group tally looks like and have access to update anything that they need to. Your regular members, when they log in, they'll be able to change their personal information, but that's the only thing that they can change. And anyone with the full administrative rights can change for their entire club. And there's also PDF guides and tutorials for group tally. And I know we've had a couple for Club Runner as well. Club Runner is really user friendly, and hopefully we're headed to that program in the future for everyone. But the international website has more tutorials underneath the leadership tab, and then you can scroll down to Club Treasurer and Group Tally, and there's some great tools in there for how to navigate group tally. So we'll kind of show you how you can update your club officers. This is very important every year to update who your officers are. We use this when we log in at district level or other clubs, or when international logs in. So very important to update this as soon as you can. And you can go to your current group positions, and it's going to list on there who your your president and all your officers are. And if you click on their name, then it's going to take you directly to their membership tab. So this is group tally. So this is the current group positions. If you click on the members, then it's going to, this is going to give you for the actual District 3, this is showing you who their leadership positions are. And you can update. So if you know that a treasurer has a two-year term, you can leave their ending term a future date, and then it will automatically upload. So once we reach that date, it'll keep that leadership position to show their history, but then it'll automatically drop it so that everyone knows they're not the current treasurer. And so it's important to have those ending dates in there and the start dates. You can enter somebody if you know they're elected and they're going to be upcoming. You can enter it in advance or afterwards. So, and use add leadership position is where you would do that. So once you click that add position, it's going to bring a create position box up, and it's really user friendly. It has all the drop downs in it where you can select the start date and the end date. And once you click update, then it will automatically add there. If you have any that you notice that need to be updated, if you have somebody that ends their term early or something changes, you can always go in and do edit and change any dates or anything that you need to so that it's correct. It's very important. We want past roles to remain. We want to see members' history. So once their term is up, do not remove their position. We like to see what their history of is in leadership. So definitely leave those on there. Okay, and updating members. You can, from the membership page, you can add new members, and it's just going to be that green button right there that says new member. And just a user-friendly form here. You can enter your club name from the drop-down, and then you can change the members to active, affiliate, or young professional for whichever they are. And this helps us on our reports for membership. So very important if somebody is an affiliate or young professional to update that information there. And for our young professionals, their dues are calculated off of their birth date. They get a cheaper rate based on their birth date. So everyone else, it's okay to just enter their month and date on their birth date. But if they are a young professional and they're getting the discounted membership rate, then they're going to need to share what their actual year of birth is so that that rate will be discounted.
And Rita, I'm going to jump in there. It's a 50% discount on the international level for young professionals and a 50% discount on district dues for young professionals. And then it's up to clubs to decide if they do a discount or not. So that's a sizable difference for young people. And a young professional by Altrusa International is age 30 or less.
That was my question. Thank you.
And
I
what
want
is
to confirm that.
There's an affiliate.
My hand's down.
Rita, one more thing, as a membership chair, it helps us in our demographics. If you do know the year of birth, that you please enter that, because then we can look at the ages of our members and how many young ones we have and how many older ones, things like that.
And
Yes.
for just in case, I know some older women especially don't want their year of birth shared. That's not available for anyone else to see. It's really only the club or district treasurers that can access that information. It's not for general broadcasting, but as Nancy mentioned, it does go into our reports to show the age range of our members when we're trying to determine those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so once you click the create member, then they will be added to group tally and they will show up underneath your club membership. And once you go to your members, you can search for a name and it will pull that up. And once you click on their hyperlink, then you will be able to actually click up their individual information. And that's the spot that you can click on there to update their address or see any transactions on their membership for when they actually joined and when their dues were paid last and what has been charged or what's owing. So member information, their contact, all of that can be updated from there.
I have a quick question. Is then it our responsibility to, if we say lose members during the year to death, do we need to go in and do something?
Yes, please. Yep. We need to have that updated. So very important to add that information if you know it. Yes.
How do you do that?
There should be good question. I was thinking there. You know what? Let me check with I think I just have in here my notes that it needs to be updated, but I'm not sure if we contact International and they update that, because there's not an actual field in there that says deceased. Let me make
Rita. It's Trudy again. We actually just had 2 members in the last couple of months that passed. And I was able to get into just click on their name, and there is something there if you're deceased, you can put a date in.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I was thinking, okay. Maybe at the end of this PowerPoint, if we have enough time, I'll log into Group Tally real quick and we'll show where that link is.
Yeah, it's just the regular click on the member, and then any editing you want to do, there's a spot there where you can fill that in.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Trudy.
And Trudy, I'm sorry you lost 2 members. I had not heard that.
Oh, yeah, it is very quick, one after the other. So
I'm sorry, babe.
But they were in their 90s, so they did really well. They had a good life.
They were great members.
Yeah, they were.
Okay. So we'll move on from there to payment methods. And there's several ways that you can make a payment. You can link your club's bank account and transfer the funds directly. And that that has the least fees associated with it for District, International, and your club. So that is the preferred method. If that is possible. The other option is to link a credit card. And there are fees when you pay by credit card. And I'm not sure, Debbie, did you hear back from International on exactly how those fees were calculated?
They did not tell us. So we did notice with the Eugene Club already paying their club dues this year, they did get a charge for using a credit card. And that's not happened in a number of years because International has waived it. And so International, just be aware if you use a credit card that there may be a fee charge now, but I did not get a response yet from David on that amount. As soon as I do, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. In order to be able to link the account, you actually do it on your own personal member page. So you'll want to click on your little silhouette at the top right, that's your little person right there. And once you're in there, then it's going to bring up a payment method. And this is where you can add new card, or you can add new bank account where you'll enter the routing number and account number. Payment methods. And this is what those 2 screens would look on once you click on them. So your card number, you'll enter the regular information, and then on the bank account, you'll enter the routing number and account number. Okay, and then the payments tab, once you have that set up, when you click on payments, it's going to be divided into 4 sections. It's going to be divided into group payments, group transactions, and member transactions. If you have a balance, then the make payment button will be available. And if there's no balances owing, then that green make payment button is not going to show up. So if you log in there and don't see it, it's because there's nothing owing. And so then on the payments page, you're going to find a list of dues, and those with any green check marks have already been paid. So if you log in on June 1st and you pay most of your membership, then they're going to show up with a green check mark. And any of them that haven't been paid yet, those are going to be able for you to select. And once you select those, then it's going to auto tally what's owing to send to international and district. Okay. So there, they have selected members and any items that you want to pay. And it's important to watch your drop downs too, because your select time period is going to be the year that you're paying. And then your payment to group, it's going to have a selection there where you can select international and district. So member fees and dues, if we were to select Ann Carroll, then we would be able to click on the pay button after we select her name. And for the international, then it would autofill the items selected and give us the $55 going to international. And once you click on the pay button, then it's going to bring up the next screen that you can select your credit or debit card and your bank account. And so that's where you won't receive this screen if you didn't log in and enter your credit card or your bank account in advance. Once you enter those, then it's going to be attached to your person and your profile. So those account numbers or cards will always be saved. You should only have to enter them one time, and then they'll show up here so that you can choose how to pay them. Oops, I should show you. Can I get back there? So the other option on this is offline. And if you're going to be mailing a check to international or mailing a check to district for the dues, then you select that offline and click submit that way. And it does give you, when you do that option, a list of the dues that you're mailing. And so instead of doing an Excel spreadsheet, you could print off that sheet and send it with your check to international or district. And the other thing that that does is it sends an alert like to me and to international, and it's going to say this club has sent those payments. And then once I receive them, then I will log into Group Tally and mark them as received so that you'll get a paid invoice and paid showing in Group Tally.
Rita, do those payments made by mail need to be received by June 15th to avoid the late fee, or is it postmarked by June 15th?
It is postmarked by June 15th. So if I receive them on June 18th, as long as it's postmarked by the 15th, then you won't have that additional $5 charge. So. Okay. This brings us to the financial duties of the treasurer. And a big part of that is planning your annual budgets. So you will want to work with your other officers and make sure that you have a budget. You're also going to be responsible for receiving, recording, and depositing funds in approved club accounts and maintaining records of those accounts. For district and the Pendleton Club, we use QuickBooks, and those reports are just really handy and make a clear record, but it's not required that you use that. If you have a different system, or if you're using the regular paper and pencil and forms, that's okay. You just want to be sure that you're recording it and doing your paper trails and keeping copies of everything for the audit. You're also responsible for paying all club bills and dues that have been authorized by the board in a timely manner. And for dues and fees, you want to familiarize yourself with the international and district financial policies and procedures. So very important to remember those dates, your cutoff dates for any late fees, and then also the dates for when members can come in half price, or when they come in April or May, with those 2 months being extra bonus ones for their when they join. And also responsible for collecting and submitting dues, and everything being postmarked by June 15th. So we definitely want to get those in as quick as possible. It helps us for membership reporting and starting off the new year, if you can get those into us as quickly as possible. So it doesn't have to be on June 1st, but the sooner the better. And financial reports and records, you want to report on financial matters at each business meeting to the club board, and also provide the club's annual, at the club's annual meeting, and anytime on request, provide those reports. And I know on the district level, we print out the profit and loss and balance sheet, and we also do the reconciliation summary and detailed one. We also do that in the Pendleton Club too, through QuickBooks. So that makes it easy. But again, if you have an Excel spreadsheet or anything that works, you just want to be able to report on that monthly and anytime you have a request. It's also important to submit an annual report and the financial records for an annual audit. And your clubs will have an audit committee that's assigned, and they will look at to make sure that you filed all the necessary forms with the state and the federal forms in a timely manner, and that everything looks legit. Members on leave of absence. Sometimes members are not able to regularly attend the meetings, and we recognize that events and lives can change and schedules can get overwhelming. So you just want to watch your membership and pay attention to that, because it may be necessary to grant a leave of absence if there's a matter that's comes up for one of your members. So important to watch those. And members on leave still need to pay their dues to remain active members, but there are situations where you can file for a leave of absence. So it's important to pay attention to those and take care of them if needed.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If they still have to pay their dues, then what would be the reason for putting a leave of absence in for them?
Debbie, can you help with that one? Isn't there something that sometimes
most of the time there's not a big difference unless they want to be able to withdraw from club activities. There's not a financial difference because they've already paid their dues for the whole year. They don't get refunded if they stop partway through a year. So it's mostly that they may have something going on and they don't want to serve on committees anymore. They can't serve on the board right now. They can't be responsible for whatever. So they pull away from the club for some amount of time, but they want to maintain their membership. And so they go on a leave of absence to not be active in the club. And then if they don't renew the following June 1st, then they get dropped as a member, or they become active again, or, whatever the situation is. So there's no financial difference to the person. It just is a benefit to not being active in the club for that amount of time. Does that make sense?
Governor McBee, may I ask a quick question?
Sure, Dina.
That is why I asked the question a while ago, as far as if they don't do it by a certain day, because as you're well aware, I have 2 members on leave of absence right now, and they are on leave of absence excused from my club until I believe August of 2025. So that's why I was asking.
Well, no,
if they
they
don't
would.
pay in May.
No, they
they
still-
need to
If they don't pay their dues again by May 31st, they
Then
get
they-
dropped.
Okay.
So if they do pay their dues by May 31st, you can grant them another leave of absence for the next Altrusa year if there was a reason to do that.
Okay.
But they have to pay their dues to stay as an Altrusan, or they do get dropped. So,
Okay.
and then it's up to your club to decide if there's a good enough reason, so to speak, to give them, to grant them a leave of absence again.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, planning annual budgets. So our fiscal year isn't the normal calendar year. We're on a fiscal year. We go from June 1st through May 31st. And so this also coincides with our chair positions. And so very important to develop a budget with the finance committee and make sure that it's approved by the board and presented to the club once it's approved. Ideally, this should be done before March 1st. Sometimes it's hard to get those approved and completed by March 1st. I know we're running a little bit behind this year in the Pendleton branch for the foundation budget. But ideally, we'd like to have those done by March 1st. The general operating budget is based on both anticipated income from dues and membership processing fees and any estimated fundraising and donor income. It's important to remember that your foundation is nonprofit and those cannot be used for any expenses that are not nonprofit. They are bound by the 501c3 guidelines. Your club, on the other hand, they're able to spend money on other things that doesn't have to be underneath the 501c3 guidelines. So
just to clarify, Rita, your operating funds can be used for just about anything, but if you transfer money from your operating funds into your foundation account, it cannot be removed again and used back in operations or anything else. It has to then stay within the foundation and the parameters of foundation spending.
Correct. Yep. So that's why our clubs and the general operating budget in the clubs, it's going to include our international dues, any district dues, convention fees for international, if you have any members doing that, and any of your officer or committee expenses, any operating expenses such as a PO box rental, or if you have a meeting space rental or meals for meetings, any office supplies, postage, all of that needs to come out of the club expenses, not the foundation. And if you have any delegates that are going to conference or convention, that all needs to come out of the club budget and not the foundation budget. So dues and fees, I know we've talked about this a lot tonight, but it's very important and one of the most important duties that club treasurers have. So very important to invoice your members in April and May. Try to get them out at least 1 month in advance. So that means they need to be received by your members no later than May 1st. The more time that you give, the better. And so once you have those received, very important to log on to Group Tally and get those submitted before the June 15th deadline so that you don't have that extra $5 charge that incurs after that. And the reinstatement fee of $10 if you're going after July 10th. So very important to watch those deadlines. Dues and payments are non-refundable. And so once you pay them, you don't get them back. And so very important to not pay dues to international and district in advance. And then while you're still waiting on your members, make sure that you have the money from your members before you submit it because they're non-refundable. So We do not recommend waiting until every member has paid their dues before submitting them, because you have that risk of, if you wait until June 15th and something goes wrong, then you may incur a fee. So it is okay if you have a majority of them to pay them and try to do lump sums, but it is okay to do them in batches instead of doing all at once.
Rita, we only have about 5 minutes left. And so I don't know, because we got started a little bit late, if anyone needs to log off or if you have the leeway to stay on a little longer. If you do need to log off and you still have a question, please feel free to ask it to Rita before you sign off. If you've got a little leeway and can stay on an extra 10 minutes, then that would be great too.
Okay. Okay, I will try to speed through here. The new membership form. So if you have a individual that is reinstating or renewing, or this membership form has all the information where you can fill out the reason why up at the top and their information. And then it also has the dues. So this is automatically calculated if you're doing it in group tally. If you're doing it outside of group tally, then you need to do this membership form. But if you're entering it in group tally, then it's going to automatically do it. And this is another one. If you are going to be mailing a check-in, then this form is handy because it's going to calculate it for you. And this form is on our district page in group tally, and it's an Excel sheet. So it's going to automatically calculate for you once you list in the number of members that you're sending and how much is owed. So all those fees will automatically calculate for you, and it'll show you the amount that you need to be sending, and then it has my address on it and how to mail it to me. Again, if you're doing it in group tally, you don't have to do this form. It's going to calculate it and send it ACH or with your debit or credit card, and it'll automatically do it, which makes it super handy. Every once in a while, we have members that move or go to a different club. And so if you have a member that needs to transfer, there is a transfer form that is on our district page as well. And this is in Club Runner and also in Group Tally. And so you can fill this out. There's no fee for the transfer. And so we just need to list it. And international is the only ones that can transfer clubs and group tallies. So once you send us this form, we'll send it on to international, and they will help us transfer the membership and group tally. There's also membership recommendation forms on there, and membership recommendations is what you can use if you have a member that would like to join Altrusa and they have a sponsor. This is a handy form to use to submit their membership to your club. And financial reports, kind of talked about this a little bit before. Very important to reconcile your checking account each month. And we recommend QuickBooks if that's an option. It makes it really easy, and very important to print out your budgets and your reconciliation reports. I usually print out the deposit detail reports as well. Just makes it easier for the audit committee at the end of the year. Scams, this is just a reminder that cyber attacks happen all the time. So please be aware when you are giving out information or any bank information for your club. Cyber fraud happens all the time. So please watch your passwords and don't give out information that you shouldn't. Very important to protect our members' information.
I'm going to add into that too, just so everyone has an awareness. There's no Altrusa governor or anyone else that is going to send out a message that their children have been stranded at college and need $500,000 sent to them, or the district needs you to go and buy 45 gift cards immediately. So if you get any emails like that, it's not affecting your your club treasury thing, so to speak, except that if you succumb to it, and that happens every year, multiple times a year, and Altrusa often sends out notices to everybody or to certain districts. So that stuff is not normal. Do not fall prey to it.
One of the things that I do if I receive any inquiry for money, I do not respond to that email or phone call. I go, like, if I get an email, I call the person. So I don't like respond on whatever method has been used to communicate to me.
That's a great way to do it. And we had a situation in our district a while ago, and I had like 4 people call me, and I said, nope, ignore that. It is not, it's a scam. So it's always good to double check directly with a person.
Resources. We have lots of resources out there. There's the international website. We have our District 12 website. There are a ton of forms on Group Tally and also Club Runner. And if you need any help with the IRS filings, the irs.gov has all the information on there. And also feel free to reach out to anyone who's a treasurer, me as the district treasurer, at any time, and we'll help you with that. The IRS filings are super easy in a one-page form. So once you've done it once, I'm positive you'll feel comfortable doing it again. So
Rita, we may want to change your email on this slide just for the future.
Yeah, I must have pulled up the wrong PowerPoint. This looks like the one that Ann had done.
Yep.
So there is an updated one that has my email on there. So I'll get that as well. I'm thinking it might be a good idea for me to just record the a new one so that we're on in the hour, and that'll be the one that we send out to everybody.
That's fine.
Okay. So that concludes our presentation. Thank you for joining. Is there any other questions or anything I could help with?
Dina does as usual. and Dina should be on the other meeting right now. Really quick. Should your treasurer be coming to your board meetings and your membership meetings with the financials for the past month, bank statements, balances, checks that are out there, checks that haven't been cashed, and giving that in writing to everybody? Or how do I want to word this? There have been incidents where and not to leave this call, okay, where I've only been given